We're talking Cowboys training camp on today's show. Actual talk, no training, no contract nonsense, although I'm sure Jerry or Steven will say something again this week. We got KaVontae Turpin talk, overall running back room, some updates on what Schotty's offensive system might look like, some early standouts, CeeDee Lamb, Marshawn, Kneeland, little George Pickens injury scare, and Joe Milton. Before we dive into all of that, we are about 2,000 likes ahead of the Raiders report so far this month. We're winding down. I want to make sure we beat them. It's the Raiders report. This is one video difference. Let's expand our lead. Like the video for me, please, and thank you. So on day one of Cowboys camp, KaVontae Turpin got involved in the backfield as a runner, not as like a gadget jet sweep guy, just as a back. I want to remind everybody, the Cowboys had this package in training camp last year. They used it. They deployed it in camp. It took them months to get into the actual season and go, well, what if we tried the thing we had installed in August? I do wonder, and I've kind of wondered this for a while, like, was that a Schottenheimer-led design? Like, was he kind of the inspiration, driving force behind that package? Turpin, in the end, got 16 carries last year. He had 31 catches, at times was used as more of a pure wide receiver. I don't think that really anything about Turpin, just the size, I don't think he's ever going to be able to hold up as a full-time, every down running back. It's just, he's not big enough. And I don't mean like the height. Like, his height's fine at 5'9". 153 pounds is a pretty big difference in just terms of that's so much smaller than like anybody else you see out there. Like, we all like to make jokes about like Deuce Vaughn being small. Deuce Vaughn is like 25 pounds heavier than KaVontae Turpin and several inches shorter, so just the stockiness of the frame is completely different in the end. I would like to get Turpin more involved. I think the ideal outcome is like something similar-ish to the Tavon Austin package years ago with Sean McVay. I would also, his yards are super funny now that I look at it, given what happened with the arrest. It's actually super funny. Just now realized that. I would like to get him more involved. I think if you can get him a handful of touches per game, plus return stuff, have some explosive ability out of the backfield for your fastest player on a team that doesn't have very many fast guys, I would like to be creative enough on offense to get him the ball and have it work. But I got to see it happen because we've had that type of conversation before too. Will the Cowboys actually use KaVontae Turpin more this year? Y for yes, N for no. Go vote at the pinned comment of today's show. In general, let's hit some of the running back talk as well. Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders getting most of the work with the ones. Those have kind of been the two main backs rotating in and out with the first team. Deuce Vaughn and then Jaden Blue getting some second team work as well. Last 2 days, especially really on Monday, or Tuesday, sorry, Deuce Vaughn had some good runs. You know, am I going to fall for it again? Probably. The small king bit is, it's real when he's good, and then it's just a joke when he's not good. You know, it's kind of just like not super serious. I'll say this, and this is something Schottenheimer has mentioned, I think it's very important to always remind people. I don't put much stock into the backs right now. There's no pads on. Like, I think it was Jaden Blue had a nice run, but Denzel Daxon, I couldn't tell who was the right guard, like blew it up and like essentially tackled him for like a loss, and then Blue just kept running and then got away from everybody because he's fast, but like didn't matter because it was going to be a no gain because the right guard got his ass kicked on the play. Like, there's no pads on right now. So like we can't, I would not overreact to anything involving the backs. Maybe what like the first team, second team stuff looks like, but, or if like you do something really nice in space, but beyond that, like it's too early. Like, I don't think there's that much to actually glean. In the same way, like the skill guys, you can probably glean some more information from with just the way that they're deployed. So do you want the running game to be better for the Cowboys? If you haven't already, like the video, because we'll talk more about the offense here, but a better running game would help everything because it's all interconnected in the end. Some offensive adjustments that we've seen so far from Schottenheimer. There's been more motion. There's been a lot of motion. I think it was Vach said about 90% on day one had some type of motion. Hopefully motion with a purpose, because just empty motion doesn't do much. Tighter formation splits, meaning like the receivers aren't as wide. They're a little bit more condensed with the formation. And there's been some more under center work. You know, Schottenheimer had a great quote at his press conference today, Wednesday. He doesn't like static. He thinks that makes it too easy on the defense, which is spot on. Like, if you just come out and it looks like and this goes for offense and defense, it looks like you're going to run the ball up the middle, and you run the ball up the middle, they stopped you. If you come out in cover 2 look, and it's cover 2, they're probably going to be able to slice you up a bit. I like all of the reasoning, the goals behind what Schottenheimer is trying to do. Utilize motion to get the defense moving, make them play slower, tighter formation splits which you can pass out of, do more under center work so you can marry your run game and passing game together better. I need to see it in games. That's what I need to see. And work in games too. But we've played this song and dance before. More motion. Hell, we've seen it work for a couple games of a season with Kellen Moore. And then as the year went along, they just kind of stopped doing those things. Or last year, McCarthy had it going the year before and then changed it this past year. Like, it needs to work and it needs to be done. Otherwise, cool, you used motion in July and August. You didn't do it in November. Who cares? Like, you want to lean on the ground game more? Cool. That only matters if it works. Like, if you're like, we're going to make life easier on Dak and the offense, great. But if you run the ball for 2 yards every play and you're in 3rd and long, okay. You actually didn't make life easier on your offense. You made it harder. Dallas, Schotty says they're going to be more multiple. They're going to use more under center. I think before Dak got hurt, they were about to deploy more pistol stuff. Then you saw a little bit of it with Cooper Rush. Schottenheimer implied some Wildcat might be used. I want to know who the Wildcat quarterback is. Like, is it Jaden Blue? Is it Turpin? Is it Lamb? Do we F around and put Micah back there? I guess you could put Milton, but that kind of isn't Wildcat at that point. That's just a formation sub. So I like seeing it. Cool. I got to see it in stuff that matters and not just day 2 of camp install. So do you have faith in the new offense led by Brian Schottenheimer? A for yes, B for no. Let me know in the comments of today's show. How about day 1 surprise? If I'd given you 10, 15, 20 guesses, who gets the first pick of training camp, I don't think anyone would have picked Marshawn Kneeland, who they dropped him into coverage and Dak just never saw him at all, picked it off. That's awesome for Kneeland. He has gotten work with the ones as well. Micah Parsons is not involved with the first-team defense when they're in 11 on 11. Instead, it's been Dante Fowler and it's been Marshawn Kneeland. Fowler's the obvious choice on passing downs. I think Kneeland as a run-stopping option is kind of key. Like, this Cowboys team, as we discussed today with Mozzie Smith, feels like they're going to go light at defensive tackle. Those edge setter opposite Micah on most downs has to be impactful, and I kind of need that out of Marshawn Kneeland right now. Otherwise, I get worried about that. I'm already worried about the front as is. If you tell me Kneeland has a breakout year, I feel a lot better about what that run defense might end up looking like. Now, we've got you covered on all the different Dallas Cowboys training camp news. We'll have daily videos for you, so don't miss out. Hit that sub button right now. Let's check in on the Joe Milton experience. Eventually, we're going to get tipped at headshots for these guys, maybe in a couple weeks before the preseason, see when ESPN updates it. Look, it's underway. It's going to be some extreme highs and extreme lows. The best plays, they look really good. It's the nice layered touch pass to Brevin Spanford. It's the bomb down the sideline that shows off the howitzer, but sometimes the howitzer airmails the intended target. He's had some fumbles at camp, which is kind of a red flag. By the way, general, balls on the ground way too much. Ball security is job security. Cowboys got to work on that on offense. Good job for the defense too. Is always the pro and con on that front. I've seen quite a few tuck and runs, which awesome, but actually should you be? I actually kind of don't want you tucking and running in camp. Throw the ball. I don't want to rely on just the athletic, which is great, by the way. I expect to see a lot of Joe Milton in the preseason and in camp too. Probably more than Rush and Lance, given the fact that I don't know if your last head coach ever liked Lance that much. That should be exciting. Joe Milton is the number one thing outside of maybe the backs and how they play. I'm excited to see it preseason this year. I'm just going to advise caution and patience overall. There's going to be some ups and downs. You can go back and look at his preseason games last year. He looked incredible one game, and then he should be playing tight end in the next. That's kind of the Joe Milton experience. It's going to be fun. It's going to be very different than Cooper Rush, and there might be some annoying moments as well. So specifically for the preseason, what's your excitement level over Joe Milton? Scale it for me from 1 to 10 in the comments section of today's show. I think the play of the day was definitely, this is for Wednesday, by the way, it was definitely CeeDee Lamb. Took like a little bubble tunnel screen. I think it was a tough screen because he came from the outside. It's tough to tell from the angle I saw from Joe Hoyt. Took it upfield, made a couple guys miss. I thought legitimately broke Kalen Carson's knee for a minute. Like, he bent over and they got caught up, but he was fine. He got back up. Weaved through traffic, took it for 60-something yard long touchdown play. It was electric. Lamb and Pickens had the touchdown celebration ready to go. I put it on the Cowboys Report Instagram, and I put it on my Twitter as well, but not going to put it on YouTube because I'm not getting flagged for that. Just like the celebration was electric. It was the John Morant vibe thing, which is going to get him fined, but who cares? Like, Lamb and Pickens very clearly giving off BFF vibes, which hopefully ends up being a good thing. I think it will be a good thing. Of note on George Pickens, did have a very brief scare late in training camp. Went down, then got up, was on the sidelines, didn't go in the injury tent, did work with the jugs machine afterwards. So don't think anything to be worried about there for George Pickens. Maybe we'll have an update tomorrow. Like, if he does stuff, think he's going to. Seemed like it was a cramp more than anything else. But the Lamb play, I think he's glad to be back at training camp and out in Oxnard since he wasn't last year, which is worth mentioning.